Welcome to my channel again. For today's video, what I'll be doing is I'll be taking apart Nintendo Wii just to see what's inside of what gold might be found inside of it. So as usual, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Please subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, but it's very important you subscribe to them. A lot of people just look at them, as I say already before in a couple of videos, and don't bother subscribing them. I need to get more subscribers on the channel, so please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So first off, I'm going to take out all the screws that you can see. So the screws along here, there's some screws underneath, hidden screws. So what I'll do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove all the screws from this device, and we'll go from there. I haven't taken any of these apart before, so this is my first time taking apart one of these. So first off, we'll have a look around for the screws and see where we can find them. So we'll find one here. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video, I'll take apart any of the screws that's in here, and once I've taken the screws out, like the screws that's down along here, there's another screw here, so I'll take him out, another one here. So there's 3 or 4 screws here on this thing. I'll take them out, and once I've taken them out, I'll come back to the video. So we'll just pause it because you don't need to see me taking out them screws. Okay, so I've removed any of the visible screws that I could see. There was one hidden under here and another one hidden under here. So I think I've removed all I can see to remove the case. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use the chisel to try and pry away the top cover from it. So we'll know in a minute if I've got all the screws or not. So seems to be something sticking somewhere else, but we'll try and see if we can get it away from the case. We'll try here at the back maybe. Okay, so I've discovered some more hidden screws, so I'm going to remove these. I'm going to pause it again, remove these 4 hidden screws, and come back to it. That's what was holding the case on. Okay, so I've removed them screws, so hopefully now we can get this part a bit easier. So I'll take off this front cover first. It seems to be a bit looser. So it's still something holding them on here somewhere. So I'll have a look and see if we can pry it away from here. Actually looks like there could be hidden screws. In under here, there's 2 little clips that could have hidden screws in it. Yeah, so there we have them. So again, this has a lot of hidden screws in them. So it's a... So what I'll do is I'll pause it again while I remove these, and hopefully that'll be the last of the screws. Okay, so I've removed the screws, and this has released this cover off the front. So first off, we have a little board here. It doesn't seem to contain much, nothing really, to be honest with you. A little bit of gold maybe there, a little bit of gold flashing, but that's about it. So I'll just take that out. So that's that removed. Now let me see if we can get this apart. Okay, so that's letting the cover come off. So again, move the cover. Could be aluminium. I have no magnet there to test at the moment, but could be aluminium, or that, or it's just steel. Actually it feels a bit more like steel that's on that, so we'll put that aside. Okay, so now that we're on looking into it, I can see there's more screws hidden in here, more screws here, a lot of more screws here and here and here. So again, once I remove all these screws, we'll come back. I'll remove all these screws. That should allow me to release it in to get into the boards to see what's on them. Got a little cooling fan here. Few USB connections where I can see the gold flashing on them. So once we remove that, let me see, there's a little board here. Does that come out? It does. Again, nothing on that board, completely just not a thing on it of any value. So just follow that up on the cord so it goes in underneath. So I'm going to just pause the video again one more time, and we're going to just remove all them screws. Okay, so removed as much of the screws as I can see, so we'll have a look now and see what we've got hidden underneath here. So remove that board. Okay, so again, a bit of steel, plastic, nothing much there. Again, possibly a little bit of gold flashing there. Other than that, nothing really on the board. Have a look where the ribbon drawings and see if there's any gold flashing on the ribbon or little gold fingers on the ribbon. No, again, nothing there, so very little there. Take out the CD reader or DVD reader. Okay, so this seems to be the main board. So again, with a few IC chips, we have a little ribbon connector here, so we'll have a look at that in a second and see what's in there. Is there any gold on the ends of them ribbon connector? So I'll just remove this. Okay, so yeah, that's got little gold flashing on it. So again, I'll put that in with my gold. I'll trim it across here and just put the little fingers in, and when I'm treating my RAM fingers, I can treat them at the same time to recover them. So this board, again, I see some more screws here. These are star type. I have another little screw here to release the board. So we'll take him off and take him off. And that seems to be it to hold the board on. So again, we have a ribbon here. We'll remove him and see what's inside of him. So this time, no, it seems to be either tin, or possibly could be silver, but no gold on that one. And that's about it. Just put off the connections. Okay, so again, on the other side of the board, a few IC chips, or just actually one IC chip. That's about it. So really not much on that board at all. A couple of IC chips. That's about it really. You'll have a bit of gold connections in under these, possibly where the ribbons were connected. It could be gold flashed. Other than that, not a great board to be honest. What we're left with here, laser. Again, I can see a little bit of gold flashing with the connections inside of that. So we've got a little bit of gold where it connects to it. So again, we could tear that down if you want and treat that. Again, magnet there, magnetic. You could treat that, get the gold out of it. Very small, a lot of fiddling to go on just to get a small bit of gold out of there. So probably won't bother doing anything with that. Now, have a look at the rest of it. So again, we have a few more screws here. And there seems to be another board in under here, so hopefully this board is a bit better. As I say, I have not ever taken one of these apart, so this is the first one I've done. And the one thing I've noticed is the amount of screws in it. A lot of screws, so it's quite time consuming removing these screws. Still a bit of weight in the actual whole device itself, so hopefully there's some better stuff underneath here. Okay, so we'll see now if I can get this to lift away. No, there's still some more screws hidden. So I'm going to pause it again because there's still a lot of screws here. So I have a good another 6 or 7 screws to take out. So I'll just pause it, I'll remove them screws and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've removed as much of the screws as I can see. So, okay, so this board now is looking a bit better actually. And it travels up a good bit here. So again, there must be more screws hidden somewhere. So I see 1 or 2 here. So hopefully this will remove that plastic. Okay, so we have another screw over here. So again, we have a bit of a board there with nothing of any importance on it. We'll try and loosen out any screws. So we have another hidden screw down under here. And I see some more hidden under that. So this, I've never seen so many screws on such a small device. They just keep appearing. Every time I remove a part, there's another bunch of screws underneath it. So it's like, but the board does look a lot better underneath there. That's the only good thing than the first board. So maybe there might be some good precious metals on it. Okay, so that again, bit of board that hasn't anything on it. We've removed them, screws are loosened. So we'll just see how we get on now. Will it come apart a bit better? It is, it's coming. We're getting there bit by bit. Okay, another screw here. That seems to be that last one on that side, but there's still something holding it somewhere. Just this does not want to come off. That's the fan off anyhow. Another screw not fully out. Okay. So a bit more, so there must be another, there's a little screw here, but I didn't think it was actually holding anything in much, but it must be. And it's an awkward one. Okay, so we have him off. So hopefully we might get the plastic off now. Now we're getting somewhere. So straight away a bit of aluminium along there. Again, that seems to be about it. So this should start to pull apart. There we go. Okay, so again, underneath here, more screws. This is just torture with the amount of screws that have been in this. So hopefully there's a nice little processing chip under here, with hopefully some gold on it after all this effort. We're going to have to bend back one of these fins to let the screwdriver in. Okay, and the same on this side, so I can get that screwdriver in. Okay, so finally have the board apart. Okay, so looking at it, quite a nice board, nice gold flashing around the actual whole board, some nice IC chips on it, gold flashing again, some nice gold flashing. The other side of the board, okay, this is where our other side of the ribbon went, so this should again have some gold on it, and it does. So we've gold on both sides of that, so again I'll trim them back and we'll have the gold, just some connections. Okay, so we have the aluminium removed. Now under here we have, I'm presuming that's a Wi-Fi or a network of some sort. Under here, again it's got some of that heatsink glue on it. Under here we have the main processor, so we'll try and remove that and see if we can make out what it says on it. Is there a brand on it? So it's just Nintendo ATI NEC, so okay, and I have an IBM chip there. So again, some nice, hopefully they have some gold contained inside them. Let's see if we can kind of remove it a bit if we can, if possible, so we can get a better look at it. So again, really I should be wearing the gloves when I'm using the chisel in case it slips. Okay, so just take the cap off it. Yeah, that's got a gold corner chip, a BGA chip. So again, I'll remove that the way I showed you with the heat guns in the previous video. I'll use a heat gun to remove that, and we'll put that in with the BGA chips when I'm doing them. So hopefully this one as well has a gold corner under it. Oh, so that came off actually in one full go. So it looks like it's just actually going to be a fairly non-gold corner by the looks of it, but we'll know in a minute. Yeah, non-gold corner, very little, nothing in that chip. I think some guys call them flip chips or stuff like that, so there's nothing as far as I know of any value in that chip, so he'll just go in the scrap altogether. So looking at the actual overall board, again we have a little board down here, little bit of gold flashing on it, so a little bit of gold, little dots of gold flashing on it, very little on it, but again it'll all add up when I put them in together with the rest of the boards when I'm processing them. So you can see there we've got a little bit of gold flashing across here and some gold flashing here. So again, some gold little connectors here, very little gold, but all adds up. So maybe underneath this we might have a little chip as well, if I can get access to peel off the cover. Okay, so again, two very small little chips in there. Again, I'll process them when I'm processing my IC chips. Again, there may be little gold bonding wires inside of them. So looking at the board, the rest of the board, we've a nice chip here. A few more IC chips. ICs. Seems to be about it really. MLCCs, few MLCCs. There'll be gold connections in under here where this was the card slot, so if we could put your SD cards with information on them. So again, if I pull that off, you'll see these have little gold flash pins on them. Look under this if we can get this to come off. So he came off fairly easy actually. So a few little gold connections here. A little bit of gold plating on the little connector there. Again, same on this side. It's very hard to see, but it is there. See if I can remove the aluminium or steel from around it to see what's inside. So on this side we have seems to be a protective cover of some sort over it. If I can remove it. Okay, just a plain board, nothing underneath there. If we can remove this bit of aluminium. Or steel, or it's aluminium. We can see what's in underneath here. Okay, so again, we've got two flat pack IC chips. So yeah, I can process them when I'm processing my IC chips. So overall, a lot of work involved removing all the amount of screws was inside of this. There was a lot of screws inside of this. We've got a few IC chips, so we've got IC chips there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 IC chips, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 IC chips, possibly 15, 16. Then we've got a gold corner BGA chip. We'll have some gold connections inside of here, and around here. They'll have gold connections on them. Also, I can see in here we have gold connections in here as well. So when these are removed from the board, I break them down further. Hopefully in future videos you'll see where I break down these smaller bits, how I do it. So that's about it really in this video. Some gold flashing on the board. I said there's gold flashing there, gold flashing. A lot of gold little flashing in around here. So possibly when the solder mask, this green stuff, is removed from the board, there may possibly be gold in underneath there. So what I will do is I'll just give it a scrape there, see if I can see is there any gold. Yeah, there seems to be gold in underneath there as well. So hopefully this is a good nice gold board underneath here. So in future videos I'll show how I remove the solder mask from these boards, from my mobile phone boards. So that's about it for tonight. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I can't repeat that enough times to subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers I get, hopefully the better my videos will get, the more information I get off other people who are doing this sort of stuff. Hopefully I can help someone out on any of the information I have. They can watch my video, see how I've done this. They might have a quicker way of doing it. They might see something on this board that is something I haven't mentioned, that has gold, silver, whatever, platinum inside of it, these precious metals. Again, if the console was working, I wouldn't have stripped this down. I would have sold it on eBay, because again you get more money on eBay. But again, it wasn't working, so I just stripped it down more to see what was inside. It was the first time I've taken one of these apart. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Till the next video.